Con once lived to tell the story of the rain, sweat, glory of mic checks and men who fight the destination we were destined to end. Left the writing on the wall in the halls of the Nippon Con. Others transformed, majority Decepticons. But my conception of the...
It's episode 60 of the Wait for the Seattle podcast. I'm Kevin. That's Brian.
Kev, I was at QFC today, and I ran into two people I know. They're married. I know them separately. It's kind of fun life thing. And the guy, Andy, good guy, was like, hey, your podcast came up on my feed. What's it called? And then we had a little conversation in the QFC self-check. So if Andy or Darren are listening, welcome.
Shout out. Shout out to QFC in West Seattle, I'm assuming.
Westwood Village, baby.
Westwood Village. Shout out to QFC in Westwood Village for making it happen.
Right next to the new Panda Express that's about to open.
Oh, gosh. We got to go over our top 5 Panda Express.
Oh, I have a bad Panda Express coaching story at some point, but I'm not going to share it today. Episode 60's got to be either, it's offensive line for sure, and it's either Max Unger, which is a nice preview for today, or Bernd Brostek, Husky offensive lineman, played 8 years in the NFL. He was really good.
I've never heard of that name. That's amazing. And
you know his son Shane, right? Played for Coach
no
Peterson
idea.
And stuff. He's offensive lineman for Peterson, and
wow,
I feel like you should know that.
I
Bernd
feel like
Brostek
there's
was really good.
A lot of father-son duos that have played for the Huskies. Like covering recruiting this past cycle, there were so many recruits, more than a handful, where they either had a dad that played for the Huskies or some type of relative. So, right. I mean, for football, I guess it's not too uncommon because football, there's so many roster spots, and you know, sometimes the dudes don't have to really be that good, and they can still have offspring that, you know, are recruited.
True.
But I always found it interesting.
I have to tell you that Bernd Brostek, because you need to know this. So he played for the Huskies from 88 to 88, 89 is when he finished. So it's right before they won the national championship on their kind of ascending. But he was the Morris Trophy winner in 1989, which was given to that's the award for best lineman in the Pac-10. So, and he played 8 years in the NFL. So I don't know, like Max Unger is the best center in Seahawks history for sure. But
didn't he play for the Ducks? Yeah, he played for the Ducks, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, funny connection. I just found this out on Wikipedia. Bernd Brostek somehow. So this is wild. Okay. Bernd Brostek is a high school football coach at Hawaii Preparatory Academy in Hawaii. He's from Hawaii, actually. And he coached Max Unger.
Whoa!
Yeah.
And they both were number 60.
60th episode. Here we go.
Wow. No one has. I don't know if anyone will have ever made that connection ever in the history of Seattle sports media.
Well, Wikipedia did it. So
amazing.
It wasn't me.
Absolutely amazing.
All right, here we are, Kev.
Last week we said when we return, it would be the trade deadline would be over.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is probably the highest point of the season, especially coming off of today's win. Do you agree?
Okay.
Just so, the Mariners and the general feel of it all.
Okay, so vibes.
Vibes, I guess,
okay.
Right?
So there's definitely good vibes. It's not coincidental that Gino coming back brought the good vibes. Obviously, winning 3 out of 4 against the Rangers also does that. Yeah, I think the vibes are really high. Yeah, can we talk about the deadline first and then the series and kind of where?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what are your reactions to the trade deadline?
Did they acquire Josh Naylor? Did we talk about that last week, or is that after?
We did? No.
Okay. Well, yeah. So they had Josh Naylor. They had him longer, and I would say Josh Naylor has been not peak Josh Naylor, but so fascinating. His lack of smiling, his fierceness, his dugout flip over the railing on JP's walk-off.
I missed that.
His love of Gino, but he won't smile when he says he brings absolute joy, and he doesn't.
He
even
might
smile.
have more stolen bases than Julio Rodriguez in the past week.
Yeah, Dan Wilson giving him the green light, and Josh Naylor being like, "That's what I've been waiting for my whole life." Like breaking records for the most stolen bases in the first week. Just everything was crazy. So Josh Naylor, he's been getting a hit a game, and his defense is definitely an improvement.
Does he kind of like just his body type? I was like, who's a kind of not chubbier, but like bigger bone dude that just gets base hits? And I was thinking Tony Gwynn. Now I'm not like saying he's Tony Gwynn, but I'm just like, who did this in the history of baseball? I'm sure there are other people that aren't like necessarily like power hitters. They're just hitters.
Gwynn's a great example. Yeah, he was not a power hitter. Although we covered on this podcast, he once got second in the home run derby to Ken Griffey Jr. Gwynn. There's got to be others. Gwynn's the only one that comes to mind. Vogelback, for his time when he was good, he wasn't really a power hitter. He's a great on base percentage guy. You can John Kruk. Not really a power hitter, just good dude. Like
I just saw the highlight of Randy Johnson almost hitting him. Yeah, it's a great highlight. And
Naylor's like sneaky athletic though. He's just like a linebacker, basically. I don't know. So they have Naylor, then they add Caleb Ferguson, who I want to just briefly talk about in context of this series. He pitched 3 times and he was nails all 3 times. Like he was awesome. And this is Gabe Spire's quote. My first conversation with him, I put my arm around him and was like, dude, I'm so happy you're here. He's like, I'm the only lefty. Today was a great example of why Ferguson matters. Brash and Spire couldn't pitch. Bizzardo couldn't pitch. That's kind of a big deal.
They were running on fumes, yeah.
So Ferguson pitches the 8th, and he's got Josh Smith and Corey Seager, 2 really, really good left-handed hitters. And then he has Marcus Semien, and he goes 1, 2, 3. And he's just good. It was a great, great pickup. And then obviously Gino, like the trade for Gino, evaluating it, they did not give up too much.
They did not touch any of the untouchables. No. Better yet, people were adding on social media, their comments of who their untouchables were, and none of those people were touched. It was 2 relief pitchers.
Yep. It's amazing.
And
the
to be
top
clear,
100 guys are all there still.
2 relief pitchers and Tyler Locklear if you somehow missed the trade. But, I mean, Locklear might be good,
I think Patrick tweeted about this, Patrick Leary, and I think he said it well. What do we think's different about that dude from what we saw the last, times he's come up with the Mariners? He's had a high strikeout rate. I know he did a swing change and all this, but I just have a hard time thinking all of a sudden he's going to turn into like a 260 hitter with 35 bombs in the majors.
Yeah. But to be fair, he went on. Yeah, he played. Sorry for cutting you off.
Yeah, no,
he played really well in AAA. Like leading, like the past 2 weeks, he's just been on fire.
Yep.
Right.
I think the thing that they always say, TikTok will point out that I don't throw 80 miles per hour, so I don't know anything about baseball. But
no, you don't.
For my amateur view, what I've heard from other people, which is what intelligent people do, they listen to other people. The jump of like the stuff they throw in the majors, velocity can be there in the minors, but the spin and the secondary pitches and the deception, right? All that is different, and that's the jump for Locklear that's big. It's big. It's a jump for Taylor Trammell. It's the jump for all these dudes who've had nice AAA numbers. Even Kelnick back in the day.
He'd kill AAA. They like just having
a terrible year in AAA this year in New York or Atlanta.
So
it was a great trade deadline. I would have loved to see them get another reliever, and I'll come back to that later.
It's pretty weird to see on every major website just say the Mariners were the foregone winners, like absolute winners of the trade deadline, A's, A minuses, whatever.
Right.
Like they literally had needs, they filled them, didn't give up too much. It was just a picture perfect trade deadline. Now we'll just see if it will all pay off.
Yep.
I mean, it's playoffs or bust, right?
Yeah. And so I think this series baseball's crazy, right, Kev? For a couple reasons. There's two reasons I want to talk about baseball's crazy. One is, you know, the game today, or even the game where JP hits the walk off 2 games ago. Those small swings in a game, those moments that obviously a walk off is a big one, right? And I was so shocked JP hit that. I was watching it, couldn't believe it. But like the moments where, you know, today Logan Evans strikes out Corey Seager, they don't call it. He gives up a 2-run bomb, right? That could have been the game, and then that swing in a game, not the literal swing, but the swing of, you know, the standings. The Mariners now have a 2-game lead on the Rangers with a tiebreaker because they're crushing them in the season series. So they effectively have a 3-game lead on the Rangers. There's a lot of baseball to be played. I think there's 49 games. But still, that's huge. Now they're only 2.5 back of the Astros. In fact, they're only 5.5, maybe 5 back of the best record in the American League. Like, this is silly, and it swings from one game. Think about if they split the series with the Rangers after losing 2 of 3 to Oakland, or sorry, whatever they are, and then splitting with LA. We'd be like, well, they're just kind of 500 after the break. Now, to your original point, the vibes are up. Gino's here. Ferguson's awesome. It looks like they have an incredible lineup, which they do. And it feels like they have the momentum to go forward and you're right, make the playoffs. It feels like that. Kev's got some awesome light stuff going on. The lights are
Something
just
strobe.
as
I
I'm
moved
talking.
in.
It's like
I'm like,
strobe.
yeah.
Okay, so that's one. I don't know if you have anything on that, but that swing always is remarkable to me. You might have more to say about this one. Okay? You've probably seen this. Everyone's seen this at this point. So the Mariners beat Jacob deGrom today. He gave up 5 runs, most all year. He gave up 3 home runs. JP, Julio, and Polanco. By the way, Polanco, so good. DeGrom's most home runs given up, I think, since 2022. JP said after the game, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. JP was awesome. He's like, he smoked me in the first at bat. I just wanted to catch up to it. Well, he hit a 98-mile-per-hour fastball for a home run. Pretty awesome. Okay, they've beaten DeGrom twice. They beat Max Fried. They've beaten Matthew Boyd. It doesn't feel like he belongs in this, but I'll tell you why in a second. Nathan Eovaldi twice. Hunter Brown. Mizorowski. Garrett Crochet, Paul Skeens, and Tarek Skubal twice. That's 12 wins. These guys in baseball, okay? Skeens, first in ERA. Skubal, second. Crochet, third. Boyd, fourth. Brown, sixth. DeGrom, now 12th, although he was way higher before today. Fried, ninth. And then Mizorowski has a 2.7, but he doesn't have enough innings. And Eovaldi would technically be number 1 if he had enough innings qualified. He has a sub-2 ERA. These are the best pitchers in baseball, and the Mariners have 12 wins against them.
It's great. There's one last thing. Softy tweeted this after the win. This is the Mariners' record after 113 games in the last 5 years. Okay, 2021, 59-54. 2022, 61-52. 2023, the same, 61-52. Last year, they were 59-54. 2025, they were 60-53. And he says they've officially arrived to, quote, in the mix stage every August. And I thought it was such a great point because in the past 25 years, from about like 2004 to whenever I just said this, 2020, it seemed like the season was over at this point, or that we were selling at the deadline. And it's just, I got to give credit to Jerry Dipoto.
100%.
Because he's built this thing up and it looks like it's being sustained.
Yeah.
Right? And you never thought back when the Astros were winning World Series after World Series, where they were the contender in the American League, like, how can the Mariners get there? And it just took time. And now we're here where they are competing and in the mix. Now, the third wild card has a lot to do with it.
Yep.
I won't brush that by, but it's really nice to be pumped up about Mariners baseball in August.
I agree. I always
probably
said
September.
Yeah, I always said I wanted to be rooting for meaningful baseball in September. Like, that's all I could really ask for. Now I'm like a little greedy, and I think Mariner fans are, because
they should be.
We've had that.
Yeah.
they've what 2-3 years lost out on a playoff spot by one game. The difference this year, to bring it back, is they did go make the moves. And I would argue last year they made
Last
it.
year they did.
They got a Rosarena, but this year they really went in because they went Naylor, Suarez, and a reliever. One of those years they traded away their closer, right? So they went in. They got two of the three best hitters that were available, it turned out, I would say. And then they got a reliever that wasn't on the list of best relievers, which is where I would get a little upset about how they could have really pushed it. But it sounded like they were in on Duran, who went to Philadelphia. And I mean, I would have started saving for the World Series if they had done that. So that's a little preview of what I'm going to talk about later. But
yeah,
it's
so
crazy.
So when Gino came back, I
Yeah.
texted you this. I was like, this is a great topic. Who are, like, in Seattle sports history, who are the great dudes or people that you think of that did bounce backs, basically? They played for the Mariners once and they came back again, or the Seahawks and they came back again. So I'll let you start who the first name is, and then we'll each name two. We'll go back and forth.
Well, let's start that Gino needs to be better than 2 for 17. No offense. I don't want to kill the vibes, but like, yeah, 0 for 9 the last two games. A little pressure on himself, maybe. Obviously, we got to give him some time. I was very happy that he's back. So I did some research to see if there was really any like other sports where they had it, right? And it's really the Mariners are the number one. So Griffey's number one. The vibes when Griffey came back to me were incredible. And he had like a 17 homer year as like a 38-year-old, 39-year-old, something like that. But it was awesome. And then he left in a weird way again, but
I had to look it up.
Everyone just throws it under the rug like it's no big deal.
He fell asleep. They tried to get him to pinch hit.
Yeah, and then he drove to Florida in the middle of the night and just quit. Like, it was super weird. But with
now
him,
he takes pictures like every retired player.
And with him, for whatever reason, it's like, whatever. So, I mean, Griffey's up there. The other... do you want me to just keep going, or do you want to?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why don't we go back
ahead.
and forth? I say Griffey. What do you got?
Okay, this one just totally forgot about this. Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
In 2019,
so it was awesome.
Came out full retirement.
Yeah.
Right, and I remember reading the story. So he came back for Seahawks had so many running back injuries. Like they had like 3 guys just out, and they were in the playoff hunt. So they put Marshawn Lynch in week 16. They were only 16, or I think there's week 17.
No, he goes really just at the end.
Yeah, no. Oh. So he plays the last regular season game for them, scores a touchdown, 32 yards, and then he plays 2 playoff games and scores 3 touchdowns in the playoffs. Now, he obviously wasn't a workhorse, right? But near the goal line, great. And they were talking. I remember reading the story that explained how he just came from out of shape to like playing in the NFL.
Yeah.
And there's probably like maybe a handful of players that could have at running back that could have done this, just like came out of retirement and maybe with a month of prep. Right. I think that was the runway, and just actually be okay and good.
Yeah, that's a good
and it was just magical. Like, it was magical. Him coming back and playing for them in the playoffs.
The game they won, I've talked about this before. I feel like when they beat the Eagles, like, I have no memory of that happening. Like, the Seahawks beat the Eagles in 2019. I don't know if COVID knocked it out of my mind or what. It's so weird. I don't remember that.
Carroll those teams kept on making the playoffs until the very end, and they just all seemed to mix together where it was a first or second round loss. Right. Like, we just never made it to the NFC Championship again.
Right.
And 2019 was one of those years, but him coming back is so cool. And the storylines about him, like, kind of reuniting with Pete Carroll and kind of ending on a good note with Seattle. Yeah. I think that actually is probably really important to him. And It just goes to show I recirculated the top 10 list, and that's a whole nother story. But people were pushing for him to be in the top 10, and it's totally understandable because he's just such a lovable guy, and his legacy is just cemented in Seattle sports.
Yeah, he's. I mean, you can make the argument he's the best Seahawk ever for sure. So it would be interesting to look at that top 10 again. But statistically, he doesn't match up to some of the others in terms of accolades or actual just stats across the board.
But to add on this like bookend of his career in Seattle, when the start of his career was in the playoffs and with the Beastquake touchdown, it's pretty cool. So
you got to give me one more because I know there's one you've got.
Go for it.
No, you got to give me one more. I know you have another one.
I got another one. Who do I have?
You're like your favorite Mariner ever came back.
Ichiro.
Yeah.
He came back, and it was kind of another picture perfect ending, right? It wasn't like Griffey where he left in the middle, fell asleep during a game.
No, they finished in Japan. It was awesome.
And then he retired, and it didn't cause any other stress on the Seattle Mariners organization, and it was such a classy move for the Mariners to do that.
It was really cool.
It would have been cool.
45 years old.
Yeah, it would have been cool if he got a hit, and I don't think he got a hit in that series, but pretty cool. So that was a really cool bounce back.
Yeah, he played the year before only 15 games, like at the end of 2018.
Yeah.
And I think the Mariners were rebuilding and all that stuff. So they just kept him on for the 2 games in Japan, and then he retired and they replaced him on the roster. But it was really cool. And he talked about in his Hall of Fame speech, like, that mattered to him. Shannon Dreyer talked about it on the radio, how cool it was to see him in Japan and the ovation he got. So that was I have 2 other Mariners for you. And I have a sounder. How about that?
Oh, this is
so
cool.
I'll try to go quick. Raul Ibanez is a big one. So Raul Ibanez was not great his first time. The second time, as I'm preparing a top 25 of the last 25 years, I had Ibanez pretty close to 25. And then I looked at his numbers. Raul Ibanez was awesome in Seattle. And I think he was just on, to your point earlier, like bad teams. Or teams that underachieved or weren't in the playoff hunt, right? So it just, I don't know.
He raked. So he came to the Mariners after he had some good seasons with the Royals, right?
Yes.
When
he came back, he was even better. So he put up 4 straight years of 20-plus home runs and at least 89 RBIs, including a 33 home run, 123 RBI season. 3 straight 100 RBI seasons. Can you imagine like the discourse on Julio if Julio had 3 straight 100 RBI seasons? We'd be like, he's the greatest player of all time, right? And I know that he does things defensively that Raul doesn't do, and he steals bases and all this stuff.
Raul was pretty bad in the outfield.
Yeah. But Raul could hit, man, and he's hitting like 280 as he's doing this.
Yeah, and he was doing it at Safeco Field, right? Yeah. So whenever guys put these types of numbers on, you have to say like he actually would have been a lot. Like I'm interested to see what if his perk adjusted, whatever. 280
or better all 4 of those years.
Yeah,
like just sick numbers. I mean, their Cruz's best was better, but he's almost like he had a better 4-year run than Cano had. And we put Cano really anyway. Raul was awesome.
So I think Ibanez is actually like kind of the best comparison with Suarez. We're talking about like Griffin, Ichiro, Marchand. These were like feel good bounce backs. But this is like we need these guys to perform type of bounce back. So
and I mean Gino was more beloved in his first stint. Like I've talked about this before. Like everybody loves him. Raul was more frustrating his first time, but the like Raul right and all that he had good vibes with him, especially when he's good. So I think it is a good comparison. Here's 2 more quick ones. Jeff Nelson, the pitcher.
He came back again? Oh, yeah, because he came back
So he was on like the 95 era team.
Yeah.
And he was fine. And then he went to the Yankees and he was incredible. And he came back to the 2001 team where he was an all-star.
Didn't Brett Boone come back too?
Yeah, Brett Boone originally was a Mariner. I don't know if he ever played the majors originally.
Yeah.
With the Mariners. Maybe he made his debut with the Mariners. That's a good one.
Man, these are some throwbacks.
But here's a sounder for you. Ready? Freddie Montero.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Freddie Montero, it was cool. That was, as a Sounders season ticket holder, as somebody who's watched a lot of Sounders games, so much of those early times. I mean, it's when I had my first kid, like Freddie Montero's, like who I'm watching, right? It's a big part of it. I didn't name my kid Freddie, but and then he goes to Vancouver. It's, for those who don't pay attention to
The
soccer,
Cascadia Cup.
it's like playing. It's like when Sher went to the Niners, right, or something.
Yeah.
And then he comes, and he was awesome on Vancouver against the Sounders. And he comes back to Seattle, and he has a little bit of a nice little run, and it was great. It was good vibes, like Gina, for me. Every time he'd go in, I'm like, this is awesome. You were right about Boone. He did play about 100 games with the Mariners when he was 23, 24 years old before he got traded away. Yeah. So, Boone's a good one. We should do a game sometime. As I look at Brett Boone's baseball reference page, where we name people and like the last team they played for.
Oh, that would be.
Brett Boone played for the Twins. Apparently, finished his year. Couldn't have told you.
Felix was on the Orioles, right?
He wasn't technically. He never played.
He never made it in the majors.
Orioles and Braves. He had minor league deals or spring training invites. And he never played. Thank God.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was good.
Yeah, so there were just so many good topics to come out of Suarez coming back, and so my other thing was the most lovable Seattle athletes. And you texted me, you said all time or currently? I said just all time. Let's just kind of broaden it out. And Suarez, maybe you want to say Suarez. Is he one of your guys?
No, he hasn't been here long enough. Yeah, if they win the World Series, he's on the list, right?
Yeah. I really think so. My first guy is going to be Edgar Martinez. He was, what did we call him? The ice cream sandwich of Seattle sports a couple weeks ago. Put that aside. He's just such a fun guy.
People love Edgar.
He had great commercials. Those Eagles commercials.
Uh-huh.
Light bat,
it's a light bat,
and just now when he talked, he's always been around the Mariners organization through the really crappy, ownership and general managers and managers. He's just been there to support, kind of like the wise elder statesman. I don't know how to describe him, but he's just a lovable guy, and everyone just feels warm feelings about Edgar Martinez.
Edgar's a great one. I'm going to go back to the well where we talked about it. I mean, Marchand, I think he's the most beloved Seahawk ever.
Yeah. Just the way he plays, right?
The way he plays is a big part of it, right? Yeah. Seattle's not really a blue-collar city, but the Seahawks of the teams are the most blue-collar fans, I would say, right? And maybe that's just football in general.
Yeah.
But, Marchand really resonates with a lot of people, and he just doesn't leave. He's got the Beacon Plumbing ads. And I
think that's the coolest thing. Who does that?
He's awesome. Yeah.
He has this kind of mysterious way of doing things. And so when I was at Berkeley, obviously, I got to know the kind of area where he because he's from the same, I think he went to Oakland Tech is what it's called. It's kind of in the Emeryville/Oakland area. But people just he's beloved in Oregon, in Oakland, during COVID, there would just be random pop-ups where he'd be giving out masks or PPE. And it would just be on social media. He'd just pop up near Lake Merritt or something. Such a good dude.
Yeah.
Some weird things, like the whole thing about him just having a bunch of cash, and never spending his salary. So he would only spend what he got on endorsements. And I think that's a kind of interesting financial thing. But I could go on about him.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah.
So I think Marchand and Edgar are two easy ones for me.
Yeah.
I think Sue Bird's on this list, and this is going to aggregate TikTok, who seems to be a place for.
Well, they're just really upset about Lauren Jackson, and then they're knock Sue Bird down to number 10 because
there's some people, those comments on TikTok, it's just straight misogyny.
It's so bad.
It's bad. And you know what? You don't like it, don't listen to us. That's not you're not gonna find it here.
We're don't listen to Baldy in Little League baseball player.
Yeah.
Never
Sue Bird's on the list. Sue Bird can go anywhere in Seattle and get an incredible rousing ovation, right?
Yeah.
Like she's beloved. Yeah, that's all I would say. I mean, she's the greatest Storm player
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Even though Lauren Jackson, like in terms of a peak and accolades with the 3-time MVP, but like Lauren Jackson's loved by Storm fans. Sue Bird threw out the first pitch of the Mariners. She's getting a standing O.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
She raises the flag at the Seahawks game, which she's done. People go bananas. People love Sue Bird.
At the Valkyries game, which every game has been sold out, the one against the Storm, Rapinoe and Sue Bird were both there. Rapinoe did their pregame like bang the drum thing, get people pumped up, and then they pan to Sue Bird, who's up in a suite.
Yeah,
crowd goes nuts.
Yeah.
Like this isn't even not even their player, right? But Sue Bird is just she's something above.
Why is Rapinoe banging the drum in Golden State?
She's a legend. I'll end on this one.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's ever been an athlete, and maybe people before my time can come up with someone that was like this person. But Jamal Crawford, post and even during his NBA career, but more post his NBA career, with this unique situation where there's no pro basketball team in Seattle, he has done so much, right? It's not just the Pro-Am. Like the Pro-Am is a huge deal of like giving basketball to the Seattle area, but just him mentoring, the high level talent and kind of nurturing the pipeline to the NBA.
Yeah.
Right. There are Seattle NBA guys that have direct contact and relationships with Jamal Crawford. I don't think it's an accident. Like without him there and cultivating this community, right? Of course, there's other people involved, other high schools, right? But he's just done such a great job of promoting Seattle and telling, being an inspiration, like this is our pipeline. We need to get these guys to the NBA, put Seattle on the map. Just a great guy too. Just an overall, just such a nice guy.
Yeah, people speak really highly of Jamal Crawford. To your point, yeah, and he's trying to personally bring a team of like 15U Rotary with his kid on it to the NBA. I think if I had to make just a quick rapid fire, like who would be considered, I think Gary Payton's considered. I think Nate McMillan's on the consideration for the Sonics. I mean, you could throw Sigma. Slick Watts actually is probably like on that list.
All right.
Everywhere Slick would go, and then I think you'd have to like Rapinoe's probably on that list, but it's kind of the Reign are maybe not big. Same thing with the Sounders, like they're not just mainstream enough. It's the Kraken aren't mainstream enough, and it's too young.
It's like who would our moms like? My mom would talk about Edgar. This is who I thought of. Like my mom would talk about Marshawn and how much she loves him.
I mean,
right?
Buhner might be there. Honestly,
Yeah.
People love those '95 teams. Randy Johnson, who was too contentious when he left. King Felix is on that list. Like if King Felix threw out, let's say King Felix, I don't know, did something at a Husky football game, people would go bananas, right? Like, one I want to throw to you really quick. You don't have to respond if you don't want to, but I think you will. It'll be interesting. Michael Penix is gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
every time he steps foot on campus.
I mean, it's Marcus Tuiasosopo was so awesome, and like you got Corey Dillon and you got Steve Entman, you got all these like Mark Brunell, and you got all these former Huskies. Sunny Six Killer is really beloved, but Penix in his peak and how good he was and how cool he was.
It's
and
kind of
I mean, if he blows up in the NFL, because he probably will keep coming back, even though he played for DeBoer.
Yeah,
man. Penix he's gonna push to be on that list.
My Wi-Fi password. Everyone, feel free to hack.
What are you
my
doing?
Wi-Fi password? Okay, I won't share it.
Well, obviously it's something having to do with Michael Penix.
Yeah. Something having to do with Michael Penix.
Oh,
okay,
Lordy, don't share that, Kevin. You gotta go change it now. All right. What do we got next, Kev? What do we do? We gotta talk about Cal.
Yeah, I wanted to add this segment. I think we got to add it till the end of the year. an MVP race watch. So
Okay.
Aaron Judge is on the IL now,
Yeah.
and Cal Raleigh is now the betting odds favorite.
You're wrong.
Oh, he's not.
It's changed, and I don't know if it changed
Oh,
because
it
he has
changed today. I
because he
looked
has
this
9
morning.
strikeouts and 11 at bats.
Ah.
I mean, it probably depends where you go, but the most common place has him second at plus 160, where Aaron Judge is minus 210.
Okay.
So I think Cal, he had a home run in the first game against the Rangers, right? That 6-0 game.
Yeah.
And then he was awful the last 3 games. And Cal has every right to have a bad stretch. And the cool thing about the Mariners lengthening their lineup is you can have Cal go 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts. I mean, they lost that game. But he was 0 for 3 with 2 Ks today. And you have Julio hit a 2-run bomb. Rosarena has been awesome.
He's had the most home runs since whatever date they keep on putting up. So,
Canzone is getting hits off lefties now. Cole Young had a 456-foot home run. It was originally 470. That length of the lineup allows Cal to do this. But they said the list of players who had 42 home runs at the end of July is very short. And the lowest home run total of anyone is Aaron Judge's 62 home run season. So is Cal going to get to 62?
that's what we're watching.
Well, I'm asking you. What do you think?
Oh gosh, this was going to be my prediction.
20 home runs in 49 games. I'm going to go no.
So you don't think he gets to 60? Do you think he gets to 60? So no, not.
I don't even think he'll get to 60. I think I don't want to think the last 3 games is too much, but the whole second half, he's just been pretty cool. He hits one every once in a while. I think 54 is kind of the range.
Yeah.
I think he'll be, which is a tremendous year, right? Hopefully,
the best
Gino goes on
year.
a tear.
I want him to go. I want him to break Salvador Perez's single season record, which is 48. So that would be great. It could get spicy though near the end if he gets within the range of 62. That would be fun.
And if Aaron Judge is out a little bit longer and comes back as a DH and struggles because he's got this elbow thing, and if Cal's got him by 6 home runs at the end of the year, Cal's going to win the MVP, right? So it's probably worth betting on right now.
Here we go.
Can I tell you a bet that I have, by the way?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I was going to bring this up earlier. It was looking dead in the water, but I bet on it's like an exacta. I think I said this in the podcast. If you ever do horse racing, there's these exacta boxes where you pick the order of the 2 top horses. So they do that with divisions. By the way, your face is like in the camera. I picked the Mariners to finish first and the Rangers to finish second in the division.
So Rangers have to pass the Astros.
So do the Mariners. But the Astros are looking not great right now. And I feel like I got a little hope. That's all.
I'm cheering for you.
Yeah, everybody except for TikTok.
Yeah. Speaking
TikTok's
of predictions.
like, hey, Baldy, you're stupid.
I'm sorry. I brought so much hate towards us. Although
I don't know why I click on it because it brings me no joy.
I told Caroline not to look at the sexist comments, and she's like, I looked, and I was like, damn, you shouldn't have looked.
Yeah. TikTok's really bad. All right.
I don't know if we're actually going to get any subscribers after all from this.
No, we're just going to get hate. You just brought all the hate in our lives.
Where were we? Predictions.
Yeah. So we talked about Cal.
Yeah.
Let's talk about predicting the Mariners and the rest of baseball.
Yeah, I think the Mariners. I'll just start. I think they're going to win the division. I think that the pitching is going to come around. And just seeing how this lineup has performed, and it's early and it's a small sample size and all these caveats, whatever. Just the fact that JP Crawford could be like hitting 7th or 8th in this lineup and everyone in front of him is pretty good hitter. Yeah. I'm in a very good place as a Mariners fan.
The lineup is so good.
I don't think people
had this.
pitch. It's really nice to know like we're not dead in the water with like 6, 7, 8. right? And that is really nice to have in a luxury. And it's kind of scary to have to deal with. The only thing that would be scarier about this lineup would be as if it was April 2025 Jorge Polanco, right?
He's not April 2025, but he's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's pretty good right now.
God, I just need him to go on a tear so we can throw him in the mix for comeback player of the year.
He might be in the mix. I mean, I would have to think about who else would be in the mix, right?
Yeah.
But
it's usually a dude that was injured. Polanco just sucked last year.
But
right?
It should be a guy who sucks. It shouldn't be a guy who's hurt, right? Like it should be a guy who sucked. Like that's the whole point, I think.
Yeah, so I think the Mariners are going to win the division. They've always played good against the division rivals, I feel like, and recently, and I don't think they're too far off of. I think they might be the better team than the Astros. The only thing the Astros have right now in my head, if you looked at both of the rosters on paper, would be they wouldn't have anything on us. It would just be the history of the Astros being better than us.
I'd slow you down. The Astros have an injured list. That the mystery is Jordan Alvarez. Okay, he's got this hand injury. He keeps trying to come back. He keeps getting hurt. If you told me he's out for the year, I'm with you. If he comes back, I mean, he's the best player on either team. Like he's a top 5 hitter in baseball. He's incredible. He's better than Cal. I'm sorry, I love Cal, but Jordan Alvarez is a dude. And I mean, Carlos Correa. I mean, it makes their lineup better because Paredes got hurt. They have like 7 starters on the injured list. I mean, are any of those guys coming back, right? So the Astros always scare me, but I'm leaning with you because the lineup is so much better. Also, can I point this out? The Astros who are reeling a little bit right now go to Miami. The Marlins are the hottest team in baseball. It's super weird. They just swept the Yankees, I think. Then Houston goes to New York, the Yankees. Then they have to play the Red Sox again, who are maybe actually the hottest team in baseball. Then they've got the Orioles, and then they're 3 at the Tigers. And then they play the Orioles again. And the Orioles are sneaky, like they could beat you, just like when they play the Mariners. The Mariners don't have an easy schedule. I mean, they play the White Sox, but then they play the Rays, and they have the Orioles, and they go on a really hard road trip with the Phillies and the Mets. So it's good. The next 2 weeks will be really interesting to see which team's hot. Are they both just 500? Does it stay the same? If somebody said you have to bet $1,000 right now on who wins the division, this is stupid because I'd be betting with my heart, but I would say the Mariners. So I'm with you. I think the Mariners are going to make the playoffs. I think the AL is very wide open. And that's why I really want them to make the playoffs, because they could go to the World Series if they make the playoffs. There's no favorite.
Hearing Tim Kurkjian say like the Mariners are World Series contenders has me in a kind of a I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Right. I want to get excited, but this is the Seattle Mariners, so I'm gonna kind of
here's the big thing for me, and then we've kind of hit this, but like we talk about vibes and watching a game. So I was in Lake Chelan with family and watching full games, right? And then I listened to the full game on the radio today as I was doing things. I don't know that there's ever been a time where, no matter what the situation is of who's coming up, I feel hopeful with the lineup, right?
Yeah.
So there's always, and they talked about it on the radio today, and Julio said there's not a hole, and I think it's the first time. And players always say that. It's kind of true. It's not Solano and Raleigh back to back. God love them. It goes Randy, Cal, Julio, ridiculous. Those are 3 All-Stars. Then it goes Naylor, last year All-Star, Gino, All-Star, Polanco, playing like an All-Star, Canzone, who's hitting like 290 since he's been called up, JP, who was struggling and has 2 huge home runs this series, and Cole Young. And Cole Young is like
hit a 470-foot missile.
456. They adjusted.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. I think it injured someone in the Hit It Here Cafe too. They were showing on the broadcast.
I don't
imagine
feel bad.
just eating your chicken sandwich, just like, because you never think Cole Young's gonna hit one out there. He just blasts you with the chicken sandwich. It'd be tough. So my point is that gives me hope.
But it's the same thing with the rotation, right?
The rotation has me a little nervous.
Except for Logan Evans. Like, I feel good.
Logan Evans or Gilbert? You feel good about every time Logan Evans pitches?
No. I meant like except
the other
for
way
Logan
around.
Evans, I feel good about Castillo.
I
Gilbert.
feel fine. I feel fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel, ironically, they beat all those great starters we talked about before. But if I have a playoff game or a game we have to have, and it's Logan against Garrett Crochet, I don't feel great. If it's Logan against Hunter Brown, I don't feel great. If it's Kirby against, Tarek Skubal, I don't feel great. I feel better about the offense like they did today, scoring some runs, than I feel about Logan throwing 7 shutout innings right now. Because he seems to have one bad inning. Kirby's kind of like toying with it. Woo's toying with it. I don't know. I mean, Bryce Miller seems to be on his way back, which is exciting because I think Logan Evans can only do so much. But the rotation worries me a little bit. And in terms of their potential as like a World Series contender, I just wish they got a bullpen arm who is dominant because Munoz is, honestly, he's a little shaky. Brash is a little shaky, as good as they are. If they had like Griffin Jacks, who went to Tampa Bay, in the back end with those guys, it feels better, especially in the playoffs. I mean, you pull a guy in the 4th inning if you have to in the playoffs, right? And I don't know. Do I trust Carlos Vargas in a big spot? Not really. So
yeah,
I kind of
other
brought
predictions?
It down a little bit. Sorry.
Yeah. No worries. Any other predictions?
Well, here's what I would say. Going back to the AL and NL, the NL is stacked to me, and I really think the Padres and the Phillies are the 2 teams I'm looking at in the NL. Obviously, Dodger fans are going to be like, what are you talking about? Dodgers, actually, this year they might be like, you're right, because they're all pissed at the Dodgers. All the Dodger fans seem to be mad. The Phillies going out and getting Duran with that lineup, and then the Padres bullpen, I mean, they added Mason Miller to a group that has a closer already in Robert Suarez, who's an all-star, and then 2 setup guys who have sub-2 ERAs.
They're really going for it because they sold for that closer. He's
maybe
not
the best
closer.
prospect in baseball.
Yeah. I keep in touch with a few Padres fans, and they were kind of upset. But these are the hardcore fans that kind of would listen to a Padres podcast type of thing. And
I mean, the prospect they gave up is young. DeVries. I don't know his name off the top of my head, but he's like 19 and he could be the best player in baseball eventually. So, unfortunately, he'll be playing in a minor league ballpark because they're not even building a ballpark in Vegas right now. But the Padres, I think you could tell where my leaning goes with playoff baseball. If you just build a sick bullpen, I think you can be really, really good. So the Red Sox kind of scare me in that way because I think they have a really good bullpen. I think their ERA is 2nd in baseball. And their lineup scares me. Like, the Red Sox are playing really well. So Padres or Phillies in the NL, and I think the Mariners have a shot in the AL if they make the playoffs. So
there we go.
What about you?
There we go.
I sat down. Who's going to win the World Series right now? Who do you think? Pretend you're back in the Sports Nerds League. We're having our draft in like a week or 2 weeks.
I'd go with the Padres.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it's a very unoriginal thing, but it's a damn good lineup and bullpen, and they play to their strengths. So.
And here's what's crazy about baseball: they're holding on to the 3rd wild card right now.
Yeah,
and the Mariners are in like the 2nd wild card, and we're talking about. And the Red Sox have I mean, they've caught the Yankees for the 1st wild card, but these aren't even division winners that we're picking to win.
I can't remember. Are we the Eddie Vedder Cup champions?
They play again, I think. So
so
I don't think it's been determined yet.
Big series.
Big series coming up, and that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
So we'll end here on Mariners talk. A lot of Mariners talk, but I'm sure people.
You got it. I mean, that's what everyone. I got people texting me who I feel like aren't even baseball fans who want to talk about it right now.
They're like, "You want to talk about it? Well, you can hear me talk about it with a person that you don't know for 45 minutes." Yeah. No, here's my link. Sorry.
I know we're not going to talk about the Seattle Storm because if we did, it would be me just saying the same thing over and over again and getting upset. So I can't talk about it today.
Yeah, let's not talk about
We're going
them.
to save it.
Seahawks training camp has started.
Yeah.
Danny Williams, our new writer, wrote up.
Did you just read a teleprompter like Ron Burgundy? I'm Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
Seahawks training camp has started?
Started? Yeah. Danny Williams wrote a piece, all-century Seahawks team, which is crazy because we are a quarter through the 2000s. So I guess it's the all-century team.
Do you think you'll see 2100?
Will I?
Yeah, you're going to make it to 2100, Kev?
That would be how long?
75 years from now.
I'd be 108. That would be amazing.
You got some good genes, Kev.
I don't know, man, because I have not been exercising, but you know.
Yeah, I feel like people who make it to 108 are always like people who smoke their whole life and never exercise.
Yeah, dude.
Okay,
my
so
grandma
not going to make it to 2100.
My grandma lived to her 90s and she smoked it. I was like, makes no sense. I mean, by the time you hit a 90, you eat all the hamburgers you want, Grandma. I'm not going to judge you.
All right.
We're totally.
So we're not making it to 2100. Okay, so the Seahawks all-century team, last 25 years. Danny Williams, not Danny Fortson. Every time I hear his name,
I want to say Danny Fortson. Yeah.
Danny Williams wrote for us, and he made a team. So, Kev,
I don't want to reveal the entire team, but there were just so many. And what he did is peak seasons. So he didn't say like Marshawn Lynch generally. Like he pointed to a specific year, which made it even cooler. Yeah. And that's why I loved this piece so much because he really dives into like specific seasons.
Yep.
There were just so many random names on here that I forgot they played for the Seahawks. And that's my takeaway. So 2007, Julian Peterson.
Hey, he was really good.
He was good, right?
Yeah.
Who else was there? John Randall was a 2001 John Randall, honorable mention for D-line. That was a very long time ago, but I thought that was also interesting. And then what was one other one? Oh, the offensive line was fascinating. So I'll just name it off for people. 2007, Walter Jones. 2018, Dwayne Brown. 2012, number 60, Max Unger. 2005, Steve Hutchinson. And 2015, Justin Britt. And maybe that means the Seahawks offensive line hasn't been great if Justin Britt cracks the top
He
5.
was fine. Like, he was a good player, I felt like.
But not like, I guess we have 75 more years, and Britt's probably not going to be on this in 75 years. Yeah.
The one on that, I have to go to the honorable mentions. This is one thing I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah.
I don't care how good Gary Gilliam was in 2015. I got a bone to pick with Danny.
Sorry, Danny,
for having Gary Gilliam ever grace an honorable mention. Okay, that one I'm not okay with. The other one that stood out to me is the running backs. Okay, so two of them are Danny nailed it. Marshawn Lynch, fantastic All-Pro, first All-Pro season, and Sean Alexander's MVP season, 2005. Duh, obviously. Danny, don't you put Ricky Waters in the same breath as those two? He's included as like in the backfield with them? Absolutely not. I don't care if Ricky Waters had 1,800 all-purpose yards. He wasn't even a Pro Bowler that year. You're putting him in the same breath as an MVP of the league and who we've talked about 1,000 times today, the greatest of all time in Seahawks history, Marshawn Lynch? What?
Yeah, I mean, he was the best running back up until 2020, 2012, half of the quarter century. So, Danny, I got your back, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so go read the full all-century team, ctownsports.com. Danny Williams, great work on the site.
Except for your Ricky Williams pick.
Ricky Waters. Ricky Williams.
Ricky Williams.
Different Ricky.
He probably would have been pretty good. Yeah, he would have been good.
Yeah.
Top 5, Kim. Let's do it.
Yeah, you want me to go first or you go first?
You go first.
All right. You had to be Suarez themed. Okay, I'll give you a hint.
You didn't tell me that, but okay.
All right. Yeah. No. Mine is Suarez.
I know.
Okay. Top 5 MLB home run leaders since 2018. And I'll tell you right now,
Ooh, that's a good one.
Gino Suarez is number 6 at 248. The person in front of him has 2 more home runs.
Since 2018?
Since 2018. There's
Aaron
5
Judge.
players. Aaron Judge is number 1. He
Kyle
has
Schwarber.
296 home runs. Schwarber's number 2, 275 home runs.
Whew, good start for me. Dang. That's so amazing. I don't know if I should say him. I don't think he's played long enough. He's going to go back to... how about Bryce Harper?
No. He's number 15, 202 home runs, which interestingly enough, Teoscar Hernandez is 196 right behind Bryce Harper. That's your first strike.
2018. So this is where, like, I don't think Jordan Alvarez is that. I'll just say it.
I'll tell you, it's not Jordan. I'll save you. It's not
Jordan.
Jordan.
You didn't say me. I already said it.
Okay.
I lost.
One of them was very obvious. He plays for the Dodgers.
Shohei?
Yeah. Shohei Ohtani.
He's played longer. That makes sense.
He has
he like missed a year.
263 home runs. Okay. And then rounding off the
Mike
top
Trout?
5. No, Mike Trout's low. Mike Trout's low on this
He's
list.
hurt all the time.
Yeah, number 4 is Matt Olson with 253. And
Matt
then
Olson.
Pete Alonso is 250.
Yeah.
So Suarez is obviously
having
a great season, but I think the 3, Olsen, Alonso, and Suarez, will kind of fluctuate based on where we are in the season. But it's an interesting stat. Like Suarez, top 5 since 2018.
Sad. All right, I have a.
I got to cheer you up, man.
And I get a home run for you. Also, a home run top 5 for you. I don't know if you saw this. You might have saw this on social media, but I don't think you remember it. Okay, Julio hit his 100th home run today. Do you know that?
Yes, I tweeted about it. Yeah,
it's very cool. We have to say this: Julio's the first player
ever
in Major League history, all the players to be 2020 his first 4 years in the league. People need to leave Julio alone. He's doing some historic stuff. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about his 100 home runs. So, fastest Mariners to 100 home runs by games played. Did you see it already?
No, I haven't.
Okay, great.
Here we go.
Julio's on the list, and then I want you to name the other 5. Julio's 3rd. So you have to name 1, 2, 4, 5, 6.
Ken Griffey Jr.
He's number 6. 6. How about that? Kind of surprising.
Damn. So I already have a strike.
Mm-hmm.
A-Rod.
No, you don't have a strike. No. Because I want you to do 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 because Julio's number 3.
Okay, A-Rod.
So you got it. A-Rod's number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
As a Mariner, fastest to 100.
Yeah.
Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, number 2. Right before Julio. Actually,
So
60 games before Julio. Kind of crazy.
Um,
So the other 2 are old timers, and I've talked about them plenty of times on this podcast.
So they're before 95.
Yes. See how I give you nice clues, and you're just like giving me clues.
Yeah. Sorry.
1. That's okay. It's more fun because people, if they listen a lot, can follow along.
Everyone that likes Steve Largent, right?
1 was my favorite player before King Griffey Jr. came along.
Yeah, I want to say Jim Presley.
Yeah, bang, you hit it. Yeah, Jim Presley. It's surprising how good Jim Presley is.
Underrated Mariner of all time.
The other one
talks about Jim Presley.
Is actually probably belongs on one of the most beloved lists. I mean, he has a nickname that would indicate he's one of the most
Alvin
beloved.
Davis.
Alvin Davis, Mr. Mariner.
Wow. That was great. Yeah. That was a great top 5.
I walked you right into all the answers. For the listeners, for the people.
Man, we made it in under an hour.
Yeah,
it
never
great.
Happens. That's great. Nope, never happens.
Oh, man. I think we'll have a guest. We haven't got it confirmed, but if we'll have a guest, we'll intro him separately. So if not, we'll see you guys all next week.
See ya.